Hello, thank you for joining me in this practice today. We're going to do a floor practice, but you could do this in your bed if coming down to the mat isn't good for you. I have got a blanket here, so I suggest you do the same if you're on the floor, just because we're going to do a bit on our knees. And if you're on a hard floor or hard surface like I am, then you'll need something to protect the knees. So we're going to start on our backs. So you can truly do this starting in bed if you want to. Coming down onto your backs, we're just going to have our feet to the floor to begin with and rest the arms out to the side. Not need to take a moment just to notice how the body is feeling. And if you are doing this in bed, then just remove the pillow from underneath you so that your spine can lay nice and flat. Start to focus on your breath. We'll just start to gently turn the head from side to side. Just nice and slowly, noticing any tenderness in the neck, any stiffness. And it's normal to have one side of your body feeling different to the other. Then gently bring that head back to center. Settle the shoulders into your mat or your mattress beneath you. Bring your awareness to the base of the spine, so your lower back. And if it feels good for you, start to gently take the knees from side to side, giving them a bit of a sway. Just notice how that feels in the lower back, how it feels in the hips. And then gently start to draw them back to center. Bring the knees into the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. Maybe lift your head and shoulders, curling yourself into a tight ball. And roll back down. Stretching the legs out nice and long, lifting the arms above the head. Point the toes, tuck the shoulders beneath you, and maybe start to find a bit more length in one leg and then the other. Just giving the hips a bit of a wiggle here from side to side. Drawing the left knee in. Start to take the knee round in circles. And back the other way. Draw the knee back to the chest. And start to take it all the way across to the right hand side. Keeping both shoulder blades to the mat. Extend the left arm long. Take your gaze across to the left side. Focus on your breathing. Notice the sensations of the stretch in the left hip. Maybe some pulling sensations down the leg into the knee. Just allow your body to be soft. Draw the knee back to center. and lay that leg long. Laying the arms down by your sides, just take a moment to notice how it feels between each side of your body. Maybe the left leg and hip are feeling heavier. Maybe the leg's feeling longer. Draw the right knee in now. Taking it from side to side and round in a circle. The circles can be big or small, whatever feels good for you. And take the circles in the other direction. Squeeze the knee in. And start to draw the knee all the way across to the left-hand side. Again, both shoulder blades to the floor. And the right arm is out long. Gaze to the right. Soften in the hip. Allow the weight of the leg to be nice and heavy here. Draw the knee back through center. We'll take a nice long stretch. Lengthen the legs, point the toes, reach the arms up above the head. And on your next breath out, roll yourself into a ball, lifting the head and shoulders from the mat. Feet come to the floor. We'll take the knees side to side once again. And we're going to continue to roll onto our sides. You can use your forearm as a little pillow here, a little rest. Just notice how you feel. And then gently lift yourself up into a seated position. So you might be sitting up in bed now or sitting up on your mat. We'll just take a couple cat-cows here. Waking up the upper spine. And start to draw circles with the chest. Bringing the chest in line with one knee and then the other. And it could be that your legs are out straight instead of having them crossed. If they are, then hands to the knees. Or just take that little circle with the ribs. Taking it back round the other way. Good. We're going to come to hands and knees, so to our tabletop position. And as I say, I've got a blanket here. So if you're on a hard floor, then just grab a cushion or a blanket to pop under your knees. So joining me in this tabletop position here, my hands are stacked under my shoulders, knees are stacked under the hips, and I'm just going to take the hips from side to side. Taking any movement that feels good for you here. It might be that you come into cat-cows, lifting the gaze and the tailbone. You might be rounding the back here, bringing the chin towards the chest, pull the shoulder blades apart. You might want to take it round in circles. Whatever feels good for you this morning or whenever you're joining me. We're going to start to part the knees. Bring the bottom down towards the heels. Chest comes nice and gently down towards the mat or the bed, and I'm placing my forehead down. It might be that you're feeling quite stiff this morning in your back and your forehead isn't coming all the way down. And that's okay. Maybe we stack the fists or we bring some cushions or a rolled up blanket underneath. We're in this position here to get a nice opening into the hips, so maybe take a little sway from side to side. And we're going to come back to our tabletop position. Start to take the left leg out behind, press the toes down, push the heel away. And then take it across to the other side. And bring the knee down. Taking some circles with our knees. One side in one direction, changing sides. And in the other direction. Noticing any clicking that might be happening in the hips. I know my hips are clicking. Knees back down to the mat. Take a couple cat-cows here. Lift the gaze and the tailbone round the back. Now, one last move that we've got here to help wake our feet up, because we've done most of the rest of our body, is to start waking up the toes. So bringing your bottom down to your heels, so we're sitting on our knees again. That's why we've got the blanket underneath us. I'm going to get you to bring your hands in front here and then start to tuck the toes. And we're going to gently bring our bottom back towards our heels. So we're putting our weight into our toes, pressing our toes down towards the mat. And it might be that you want to rock backwards and forwards here. Just play around with how it feels. If this is the first time you've done this, it's a very strange sensation. Just take it easy. And then we can start to uncurl those toes and tap them out. And you can do that again. Check in with those toes. Make sure that all of the toes are being stretched into, particularly the little toes. For me, I've got quite small little toes, so the stretch doesn't quite get to them sometimes. So just take a moment to check in with them and then release it out once again. Knees wide, sink it down to the mat for your child's pose. And it might be now that you stay here and you follow some breathing practices. Or you might use this to springboard into a nice yoga session that you can do at home. Maybe moving through some sun salutations or some warriors. Whatever feels good for you. This is where I'm going to leave you in your child's pose. Make sure that you take the time that you need before getting on with the rest of your day. Take any movement that feels good for your body. And I will see you again soon. Thank you for joining me in this practice today.